Hi, everyone. Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And today, Apple released iOS 26.2 Beta 2. I wasn't quite sure if we would get this update this week, but quite surprising, we did. Now, I did not install this beta, but since I do have the developer beta account, I went to my beta updates and it showed up. And the file size of the update is about 7.87 gigabytes. That is on my iPhone 12 in product red. This update was released alongside iPadOS 26.2 Beta 2, macOS 26.2 Beta 2, and all the other updates. Now let's talk about what is new. And like I mentioned before, I am not running the iOS 26.2 Beta 2 update. I will install it at Beta 4, but to show you, I do have the developer beta. This is it right here. But as far as what new features are in iOS 26.2 Beta 2, well, there aren't that many features, so we are going to do a recap of Beta 1. There are some features, and I will mention those as well. One of my favorite features in iOS 26.2 Beta 2 is with the lock screen. You have a slider, kind of like how you have to make the time thinner or thicker. You have a slider to adjust the transparency of liquid glass within the clock app, or the clock on the lock screen rather. You can adjust the transparency, though I do have a concern about this, as if you adjust the transparency extremely dark, the clock will become hard to see. Hopefully, Apple changes that slightly and dims the wallpaper so you can see the clock, and maybe puts an outline around the clock so that you can see it as well, or maybe Apple might keep it this way. But if they do, if you have a super dark wallpaper or a super bright wallpaper, you're probably not going to see it. And we do have updates with chapters and podcasts and different links as well. The news app gets updates where we have a tab bar with Apple News Sports. This entire tab bar down here in 26.1 is now moved to the top. They did this with the Mail app as well. Now you also have an update to Freeform where you can sort of create different tables. You have that update as well. And also urgent reminders. But this is an update within 26.2. Animations gets an update, though you're probably not going to see it. Animations now sort of pop out in iOS 26.2, though you're probably not going to tell, as I'm on 26.1, so there are some updates. Now, if I go into Measure here, if we go into Measure, we give it a second to load. Let me just get this set up really quickly. It seems like I have to do this every time I go into the app. Well, I'm not going to quite get into that, but there is an update in Measure. The update here is with liquid glass. You can see here they added some kind of bubbles to the Measure app when you rotate the iPhone with liquid glass. And that is honestly a really nice change. As far as anything else from Apple, if we go into the calendar here, well, next week I would expect iOS 26.2 Beta 3. Honestly, it is a good thing that we did get this update today so that we can have Beta 4 around the week of December 1st. Since Apple started testing iOS 26.2 betas a little later than usual due to the fact that iOS 26.1 released in November, which was the first time we've ever had a point 1 release in November that I can remember, because all the updates, all the point 1 updates, iOS 15 to iOS 18, all released in October. This is the first time where it didn't. But going in the calendar, we can see beta 2 or beta 3 on the 17th, hopefully the week of the 17th. I would not expect the beta the week of the 24th. In fact, I would expect Apple to skip that week completely. Reason being is because that week is Thanksgiving, with Thanksgiving being on Thursday, November the 27th. So I would expect that week to be entirely skipped, with December 1st, the week of December 1st, where beta 4 will be released. That is when I will install iOS 26.2 beta 4, and I will talk about some updates with that beta. Then, the week of December 8th, I would expect an RC rather, with a final release sometime around December 15th. Then iOS 26.3, no betas after that until January, with beta 2 of 26.3. So I will keep you guys posted on the new updates. And also, November 16th is less than a couple of days away. In fact, it is this Sunday. And I will have my 1-year anniversary live stream. Hopefully you guys ask me questions, as it's supposed to be a Q&A. But if I don't get any questions, that's not a problem, as I'm still going to go live for the 1-year anniversary of me being on YouTube. So you will see a live stream either way at 8 p.m. Central Time on November the 16th. As far as what else we can expect from Apple, well, that's really it. iOS 26.2 is a really great update. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later.